Hello, hi everyone. I am Maraprasad. Okay, in this video we will discuss one more Salesforce interview question. And before discussing about that question, already I have uploaded some Salesforce related interview questions. Okay, nowadays these questions only in every company, every interviewer asking you. Okay, if you do not, if you are preparing for an interview, just watch this. It will help you on your interview. Okay. Okay, in this video we'll discuss um, regarding Salesforce test classes, test class related interview questions. Uh, in our interview, test class interview is common, but we'll discuss which type of questions interview will ask you related to test class and all those things. Okay, before discussing about this, first of all, I will explain you some functionality about test class. Okay, why do we need test class in the Salesforce? Okay, so we need test class to deploy our metadata classes, triggers, batch effects, or anything classes, web service classes, anything to deploy into the sandbox to production. We need 75% code coverage for all the overall the classes. Okay, even if you are deploying the trigger, we need at least 1% code coverage. This is mandatory for in the Salesforce. Okay, and uh, okay. Uh, so why we are writing test class means whatever the functionality we have written in the classes triggers, we need to test that functionality is working properly or not. That functionality we can test with the Salesforce test classes. Okay, that's the reason we are writing test classes, and this is mandatory to deploy test classes. To deploy our classes or anything or metadata, we need 75% code coverage mandatory. And for example, if you want to deploy sandbox to sandbox, there is code test classes not required. For example, if you want to deploy classes from sandbox to production, test class is compulsory and mandatory. Okay, and for sandbox to sandbox, not required. This is the main point. And another thing is, just I will explain you to to write test classes. I have created already sample template in my Salesforce blog. I will show you what is the template and all. Okay, this is my channel actually. If you like my videos and if you want more videos on my YouTube channel, then you can subscribe. Okay, this is my Salesforce blog here. So I have created sample test class here. Okay, so I will so this is the sample test class I have written already. Just we can follow this test class template and we can write any test class. I will copy and I will paste it in Notepad so that we can understand easily. Okay. Okay, this is a test class, and for all the classes, not for test classes, even if you are writing any classes trigger, we need to give class details and version and all those things. This will help to the other people. Okay, and for example, if you want to write test class in the Salesforce, we are using is test annotation. Is test annotation is mandatory. Why we if you use is test annotation, this means it will not count against our Salesforce Apex class characters limits and code limit. So it will not consider as a normal classes characters limit and all those things. So it will consider as a test class. Okay, to write test class, first we need to write is test annotation, and we need to implement a test method in the test method. So here we can see, right, we are using test method keyword, and that's it. To write test class, first we are using is test annotation and we need to write test method. Okay, this is like here I have created sample template here. So why we are using here is test setup annotation. This is recently, I think 1 year, 1.5 year back, this annotation is introduced to Salesforce. Using this annotation, we can create a test data in this method, in this test setup annotation. We can use we can use this test data in all our remaining test methods. Whatever we are inserting, for example, here you can see, right, I am inserting some list of accounts and list of contacts. So, and same data I can use in the different test methods. This test setup will support for only in this class. For example, if you want to use this data in another test class, this will not support. Whatever the test setup method here created, this data will be applicable only in this class only. This test data will not not available for the other test classes. Okay, so we will create all the test data in the test setup annotation. Then we can query the test data into the, here we can query the test data, and we can pass to the methods or anything. We can, so for example, if we are writing triggers, then we need to pass trigger.new, right? So we can pass this list of contacts to the trigger.new, or class name, method name, we can pass that test data. So why we are using system.asset here? So whatever the data we are inserted into the test method, so for example, here I am inserted 10 accounts or 10 contacts. So I want to test that those accounts are inserted or not successfully. So that's why I am using. So this is the expected value. This is the actual value. So here we need to get 10 contacts. Then system.assert equals will be false. Otherwise, it will be failed. Okay. So this is normal. To write test class, just remember first we need to write is test annotation and test setup annotation for creating test data. These are the test data, and we can use this test data in all the methods, remaining methods. If you are creating multiple methods in the test methods, then you can use same data into the multiple test methods. That's the reason only we are creating test setup annotation. Interview will ask you what is the use of test setup annotation. This will be using for creating test data into the test class. Okay, this is a simple definition. And one more thing, what is the use of start test and stop test? Okay, it will refresh the governor limits. For generally we have governor limits, right? We can perform maximum 150 DML operations, and we can query maximum 50,000 records in single SQL query, and we can perform maximum 100 SQL in single transaction. So these are the governor limits. To refresh all the governor limits, we are using start test and stop test annotations, class methods actually in the test classes, so that it will refresh our governor limits. For example, in our class you are inserting 150 records, 100 records. Here you were in the test class also you are inserting 100 records. So total 200 DML operations is there, right? So it will throw error. To divide these refresh governor limits, whatever the DML operations we are performing, we need to perform all the DML events in the here, whatever the DML or anything, so that it will refresh governor limits. So this data will not consider as a, only this data will consider separate, consider the separate. Okay. So I will go one by one and this document, so that you can understand what is test class, why it is necessary. So as I explained you previously, to deploy our code to the production, we need 75% code cover is mandatory. This is the question, why and all this thing. And so that we can check our Apex class triggers, web services are working properly or not, we can test with the test classes. Okay, and I will maximize my screen so that we can use. And what is code coverage and what is the minimum code coverage for class and trigger? So as I explained previously, code coverage is the percentage number of covers and covered. So, and the minimum code coverage is at least 1%. At least 1% is mandatory for all the classes, and to deploy multiple classes and multiple packages, overall code cover should be 75% code cover. 75%. Okay. And the system debug will not we don't need to it will not consider in the test class. Just we are using debugs for testing our like our class is working and our data is whatever the data we are expecting data is coming or not. We will use system debug for testing, like debug our code only. Okay, we don't need to write any test class for the debug. System debugs. And so to define, how is a class defined as a test class? To define a test class, we need to write is test annotation before the class, as I have mentioned here. Okay, then this class is test class. This class will not count against our Salesforce org Apex class limits and characters limit, and it is not counted against the args limits of 3 MB Apex. Generally, Salesforce org we can write maximum 3 MB of Apex code. So if you mention is test, then that classes will not consider as a normal Apex code. Okay, and test method is whatever just here public static test method. This is a normal predefined syntax in Salesforce. If you want to use test method, you can use. Otherwise, you can skip this test method and you can write here other test. Both are same. So you can use other test and or you can use test method keyword. Both are same. Okay, you can use anything based on your convenience. And what is the use of CL data in Salesforce? Um, if we will use CL data, then we can see our Salesforce data directly. No need to write test. No need to write create test data and all those things. See, for example, in this test class, I am using address test setup annotation, and I have created test data here. So if you use address is that CL data equal to true here? See, all data equal to true means then you don't need to write any, don't need to create any test data here. Directly you can fetch data from the Salesforce or whatever the data is existing in the account records, objects records. You can fetch that data. So, but this is not a best practice to write CL data equal to true. Why means in the test in the sandboxes we can create test data, but at the time of deployment in production, so there is no data, so automatically our test classes will fail you, and so that's the reason we need to avoid the CL data equal to true in the test class. This is not a best practice. And what is start test and stop test? For this I have created one video, so there I have mentioned all the benefits of start test and stop test. Just watch it. Here I don't know exactly which video that one, so you can go there. So the main purpose of start test and stop test is to refresh governor limits, and if you want to execute any asynchronous process in the synchronous way, then we can use start test and stop test. That is the only. But so in detail of this start test and stop test already have uploaded video, so just watch it so that you can understand the benefits of start and stop methods in the test class. Okay, so here you can see, right, code will return the methods receives to refresh governor limits, and it runs asynchronous methods to synchronously. That is the reason we need to use start test and stop test. Asynchronous means like batch apex, schedule apex, future methods. All these methods run asynchronously. To run that code in synchronously, we need to use start and stop methods. Okay, these are all related to Salesforce test classes interview questions. Okay, if he will ask you any related Salesforce test classes, almost I am covering here. And what is the use of system.run-as method? Okay, in generally we can write in sometimes we can write classes, right, with sharing keyword and without sharing keyword. So with sharing means user mode, without sharing means system mode. User mode means whatever the permissions you have, record level, security, roles, and all those things will be considered. User like system mode means it will not consider, like you can access anything in the organization. You can access even if you don't have any access. If you specify without sharing keyword, then he can access in the class and all those things. So so same like that only system.run-as. If you want to run test class with the user mode, we need to use system.run-as method. Okay, and how many types of assert statement? Okay, we have three types of assert: equals to, assert not equal to, and assert equals to. Assert equals means whatever the expected value is coming or not, so that it will return the boolean value true or false. Assert equals and not equals means here we can write expected value, and here we can write actual value. So here just now I show you, right, assert statements here. Assert equal to 10, and here, so this is the expected value and this is the actual value. So if both are same, then our system data set equals to true, then our test class is working perfectly. So to test our test class is working perfectly, we need to use we are using this as assert statements. Okay, so that is the use of assert equal and not equal and assert system assert. Assert means boolean, it will return true or false. Okay, and this is also very important. And what is the test visible annotation, why we will use? So sometimes if you are implementing any web services classes, we are specifying a private keyword, right, in the method. So that time that private methods will not access directly in the test class. So for that, to access that private methods, we need to mention at the test visible annotation in the private methods. For example, you are writing this methods like sample method private void insert accounts. So this is a sample method. For example, we'll take. So if you want to access this method in the test class, so it will not. It will throw error like method is not visible. So that's why if you want to, if you want to access this private methods in the test class, we need to specify other test visible is the test visible in the private method, so that we can access this methods in the test class. Okay, to access private methods in the test class, we need to use test visible annotation. That's it. Actually, nothing is there in this annotation. Okay, and okay, see, for example, here we can see some sample best practices while writing test class. Test class must starts with other is test annotation, we know, right? And test visible and setup is visible annotation we can use to access private methods, private classes, and all those things. Private methods. Test setup annotation we can use, right, to create test data in the test class. Here we can create test class, test data, and we can access this test data in all the remaining test methods. Okay, that is the use of test setup annotations. Okay, and we need to while creating we are creating test class to test our code is working properly or not. So that's the reason we are creating test classes. And to deploy code to production, we need 75% code coverage. Already we discussed the same thing, right? And here test methods will not support for send email and all those things. No email flagged with the test method keyword. So whatever we are inserting test data, see, for example, here I'm inserting data, right? Inserting accounts, the list of accounts, and inserting. So this data will not inserted into the Salesforce app. Just it will remove once inserted, and it will remove immediately. Just this is a test data only. So if you are using a performance, if you want to perform any whatever the DML operations you are using, so this data will be not inserted into the Salesforce. And even we can't send emails to the from test classes. Okay, and we know, right, test method will no argument. We can write directly method like this only. It will not contain any parameters. This is a predefined syntax in Salesforce. Okay, and that's it. We know, right, 75% code coverage must to deploy our classes to the production. For sandbox to sandbox, we don't need any code coverage. Directly we can deploy. Okay, and we know, right, system.debug statements are not counted as part of Apex code limit. Test method and test classes are not counted as part of code limit, right? As discussed previously, arg-wide we can create maximum Apex class characters limit is 3 MB. So if you are not mentioning other test method, then it will consider as Apex class. So that's the reason we are mentioning other tests. Then it will not consider. Okay, and by creating test classes, we need to test with always we need to write test classes with bulk records, and we need to test with bulk records whatever the operation we are doing in the batch apex, the triggers, and all those things. Same thing they are mentioned here, and bulk action and all those things. If we have any if else conditions, then we need to write multiple methods, positive, negative, and all those things. Okay, and these are like already we know, right, method keyword. So we can write either it is test or test method, both are same. In the test method we can use a test method keyword, or if you want to use only test other test method, both are same. Okay, and we know, right, it will not contain void return type. Test method always should have void return type only. It will not return anything. And okay, these are already we have discussed. For example, you are already implemented some web services classes, so you want to test that web service classes in Salesforce. Salesforce is provided HTTP callout mock interface, predefined class in Salesforce. I will show you, like, to test Salesforce web service classes in Salesforce test classes. HTTP callout Salesforce is providing predefined web services classes to test uh, web services and all those things. compulsory we need to implement this interface. First we need to implement this interface. And one more thing is, to test web service classes we need to write two test classes. One is sample test class to test one minute I will open that class. HTTP callout example. Testing Apex callouts. Okay, to test our callouts we need to use HTTP callout MAC class. This is interface. Salesforce is providing predefined interface. Here you can see, right? For example, here already they are written some sample class. This is HTTP callouts, right? Request, response, and all those things. To test those classes, we need to write compulsory. We need to implement mark out this HTTP callout mark. In this interface only, we are implementing sample request and sample response. Then we can call this HTTP callout interface class in the test class. See test dot set mark. Here I will show you like how we can call that one. Here we can call that HTTP callout class. So some little bit different between normal test classes and web services classes. If you are implementing any web services classes, to write the test class for that web services classes, you need to implement HTTP callout mark interface. Okay. And interview will ask you like this one is also very important, how you can test callers, how you can write test classes for callouts. So you can say like that we need to implement HTTP callout mark interface. What is the use of this interface? This interface we can create sample request here, and here we can create sample request and response. Then we can get that call that sample request and response in our normal test class. So that's the reason we have to create two test classes for the callouts. Okay, this is very important. And what else? Okay, see previously if you are in the test class, if you are in, previously we are creating only one helper class. There we are inserting all the test classes, all the objects data, then we are calling that data into the Salesforce normal test classes. So we can use one helper class, then we can call that one. Otherwise if you want to load some data through CSV file, then we need to upload that CSV file in the static resource. Then using test.load data, we can insert that test CSV records here. So what is the use of test.load data? To insert CSV files into the test class, we need to use test.load data method. Okay, this is also important actually. To load the static resource data in the test classes, to load some data, sample data into the classes, we need to use test.load data method in the test class. Yeah, just now we discussed it, right? Test factory. So we can call that create one helper class, then we can call all the data into the normal test classes. Okay, and okay, this already we discussed system.run as, like to run test class through user mode, we can use system.run as. And okay, this that's all from this video. And so in this Salesforce interview, they will ask you like mainly what is the use of CL data acquired true. This is a best practice or not. This is one question. And use of test dot start test and stop test. This is also important. And what is the use of other test setup, and uh, how we can call the private methods in the test class, and how we can run asynchronous batch up or feature methods in the test class. Like just now we discussed, right? Using start test and stop test, we can do all those things. So these are all. That's all from this. These only most of the times interview will ask you like related to test class questions. Okay. That's all from this video. I hope this will help you. Thanks, guys. I will